Welcome to the Daily O. I'm Mally Jones. Let's take a look at what's going around on campus. Beat that midweek slump and join Student Union Activities Board and the Residence Hall Association on Wednesday, April 17th at 8 p.m. for a movie showing of Aquaman on North Dining Lawn. The movie will start right around sundown. Tomorrow, University Counseling Services is hosting an event about mental health where they discuss characteristics that are healthy and supportive, as well as traits considered more toxic, unhealthy, or abusive. The lecture will be held from 4 to 5 p.m. tomorrow in the Student Union Room 320. Also, Oklahoma State Equestrian Team is currently competing for a national championship in Waco, Texas. Good luck, Cowgirls! Going for a hike is supposed to be a fun and relaxing activity, but for one student trying to capture the moment, it was quite the opposite. An Iowa college student fell nearly 100 feet to her death while posing for a photo. 20-year-old Andrea Norton was hiking with other students from Briarcliff University during a trip to Arkansas's Ozark National Forest on Sunday morning. Witnesses say Norton lost her footing while trying to reposition herself for a photo on the famous Hawksbill Crag, a rugged cliff in the forest. The university said Norton was a dedicated volleyball player and a stellar student. According to her obituary, she was a triple major in biology, environmental science, and petitioned the school for an associate degree in global studies. Newton County Sheriff Glenn Wheeler said this tragedy is another reminder about some of the dangers of popular attractions. The massive search for Sol Pais, the Florida woman wanted for making threats towards schools in Denver, Colorado, is over. CNN affiliate KCNC in Denver is reporting that she was found dead Wednesday morning. A few dozen officers, including a SWAT team, were near the Arapahoe National Forest searching for Pais. The search was centered at the base of Mount Evans. Pais traveled to Colorado from South Florida on Monday night and purchased a pump-action shotgun and ammunition once she arrived. Authorities say she was infatuated with the Columbine school shooting. The 20th anniversary of the massacre is Saturday. 2 students opened fire inside of the school, killing 12 students and 1 teacher. You've heard of Take Your Daughter to Work Day, but this goes way beyond. A surgeon in Belgium recently performed an operation with the help of his 2 daughters. Yves Ringor is a urologist, as is his oldest daughter Anelius. His youngest daughter Jolene is an anesthesiologist. It was the first time the 3 worked together. Anelius says she thought it was funny to all be at the operating table together, but that they could understand each other better even without speaking. When asked if he was proud of his daughters, Yves said yes, 2,000%. Wednesday marks the 6-year anniversary of the deadly explosion at the Texas fertilizer plant. The blast devastated the small town of West, about 70 miles south of Dallas, killing 15 people, including volunteer first responders. The mayor compared it to a nuclear bomb going off. 200 people in the area were hurt after some 30 tons of ammonium nitrate exploded. Hundreds of homes and buildings were damaged or destroyed, including 3 of the town's schools. Investigators with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives determined someone started the fire on purpose. No arrests have been made. A memorial to those who died was dedicated last weekend. Now, Jason Calicchio will catch us up on what's going in a New York Minute.
Hey, I'm walking here. You see me walking here. Welcome to the New York Minute. I'm Jason Calicchio. The Bayhive is buzzing. A documentary on Beyonce is available on Netflix today. The film Homecoming focuses on the singer's 2018 performance at Coachella. During that show, Beyonce paid homage to historically black colleges and universities in the U.S. Homecoming also includes the interviews and candid behind-the-scenes footage. Beyonce wrote, produced, and directed the film. But the documentary wasn't the only thing released today. Beyonce also dropped Homecoming the live album on her husband Jay-Z's streaming service, Tidal. Joe and Anthony Russo have taken to Twitter to ask Marvel movie fans to avoid releasing spoilers about Avengers Endgame. The tweet includes a message from the Russos and the hashtag #Don'tSpoilTheEndgame. The announcement comes on the heels of a reported leak of Endgame footage making the rounds on social media. In casting news, Jennifer Lawrence picks her next project. The Hollywood Reporter says Lawrence will star in a new drama from indie studio A24. No word on a title or release date, but the project will begin shooting in New Orleans in June. But will it be a blockbuster, though? Game developer Mojang announced the Minecraft the Movie will arrive in theaters on March 4th, 2022. The studio also revealed the plot will feature the in-game enemy, the Ender Dragon. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist director Peter Solet will helm the project. That's it for the New York Minute. I'm Jason Calicchio. We'll be right back after this.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
It's gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Cause baby, I feel real good and I wish I would. Watch out now. It's gotta be against the law to look this damn good. Watch out now. Everybody watch out. Watch out now. I'm ready for a good time and I came to groove. The whole band's here and we came to move. Got a fresh haircut and 2 new shoes. We're here all night like we got nothing to lose. I'm coming out the jacket cause we're turning up the heat. I wanna see you clapping when you get up out your seat. It's time to make it happen when we hit these streets. I'm coming in hot and I can't be beat. Watch out now. Baby, watch out now.
welcome back everyone. I'm Mally Jones and I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Asian OSU, Kenji Mua and Sarah Karki. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. So before doing this pageant, have you guys done anything like this before?
Well, I did MMI my first year, my freshman year in 2016. I was participating from Nepal, and I participated as Miss Nepal for Mr. and Miss International. So yeah, I've done it before once.
For me, I've never done a pageant before, and I was kind of shocked that I kind of put myself in there and did the pageant.
So since you've never done anything like this before, what was that experience like for you?
Well, it was to me, I was really nervous, and I've never, been out and public speaking before and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that I've learned.
Mm-hmm. So going forward, now that you guys have been given this title, what do you have to do moving forward?
For me, I actually wanted to do kind of like a group study, not a group study, but a group gathering where I kind of show what students, what's the diversity on campus and how to, just to give them an idea about, there's this part or this club on campus that, you should go see, or there's this club on campus you should go see, and maybe have, every, for one of my socials would be for, to just have a lot of, just have different cultures, like talk about their experiences.
Mm-hmm. And also I think we would also want to make like the Asian communities closer to each other, because it's very segregated right now, because like the Chinese Student Association, they have their own stuff, and the Indian Student Association, they have their own things, and we don't have a lot of representation from the smaller Asian clubs and organizations that we have, because we have a lot of potential, and I think we can bring out more events, and we can bring out more of the smaller Asian clubs and organizations, which will also help in like bringing us closer together.
Yeah, that's great. So Kenji, you said you have not done anything like this before, but Sarah, you have. So for each of you, what made you want to do this?
For me, my mom, she actually really pushed me when I told her about this. I actually wasn't sure if I would be able to fit in all the rehearsals and preparations in my schedule. And I think she was like my main pushing factor for me to really make the best use out of this opportunity that I have. And yeah, that's
cool.
And for me, my sister actually pushed me to do this. If it wasn't for her, then I would never kind of put myself forth into something that I was really uncomfortable doing. Also, Marsha had a good factor into it to, giving me information about what I needed to do, and an insight about what would how rewarding it would be in the end, like the soft skills that you would learn.
Mm-hmm. So what was it like at the end of it, hearing your names announced as the winners?
I guess shocked. All this nervousness came away, and everything just lifted off my shoulders, and I was just really happy that I won.
Yeah, same. Like it's a really good feeling when you hear your name. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was very exciting. Yeah.
So then lastly, what was your guys' favorite part about participating?
For me, I think it was like all the rehearsals, just bonding with all the other contestants, because I didn't know most of the ASA members. I was more involved in the International Student Organization, and I got to know like all the officers, and they helped us a lot during the preparation, and all the rehearsals were like they're great, and they really pushed us to do our best on stage, especially like last year's Mr. and Miss Asian, Courtney, Tong, and like everyone like Vanessa, Paula, Marsha, like everyone really like helped us a lot.
Good.
Yeah, same here. It was a lot of time just to really get to know each and every one of the contestants, along with all the coordinators and the entire exec board. We really got to know them personally, and how they push us to be better and how they critiqued us.
Well, that's awesome. It sounds like it was a great experience for you guys, and good luck moving forward. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been really nice to talk to you guys and hear a little bit about your experience and everything. So now we are going to take another commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to be with Lainey Gerber, and she's going to tell us a little bit about some sports.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Highlighted by a towering 2-run home run to get OSU on the scoreboard. Colin Simpson also homered, and Christian Funk continued his recent surge by driving in a pair of runs. OSU returns to action Thursday when they host Texas in a Big 12 Conference Series opener at Reynolds Stadium. First pitch is set for 7 p.m. Also last night in Cowgirl Stadium, the number 13 Oklahoma State softball team pushed its winning streak to 7 with a 5-0 victory over Tulsa. OSU hit 4 doubles to help down its in-state foe. It's the 8th time the Cowgirls have reached that mark in a game this season. Samantha Show provided 2 of the Cowgirls' 2-baggers Tuesday night, with the second one driving home OSU's final 2 runs of the contest. Show leads the Cowgirls with 41 runs batted in this season, and her 11 doubles are 1 behind Riley Bayless for the team lead bat. The Cowgirls' next matchup will be against North Texas next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. In the NBA playoffs, there were a couple of intense matchups in last night's set of games. The Denver Nuggets bounced back from their loss and beat the San Antonio Spurs 114-105. Jamal Murray led the way for the Nuggets with 24 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. The rest of the starters pitched in with 67 points to even out the series before both teams meet up in San Antonio. The Toronto Raptors showed why they're the second seed in the East as they beat the Orlando Magic 111-82. Kawhi Leonard showed out as he dropped 37 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists on the Magic. Kyle Lowry bounced back from his cold streak on Saturday with 22 points and 7 assists. Both teams will travel to Orlando, where the Magic haven't seen a home playoff game since 2012. In the NBA also, the Oklahoma City Thunder lost to the Portland Trail Blazers 114-94. For more on last night's game, here's one-on-ones Logan Mosier and Reed Spencer.
I said after game one, it's a good thing for the Thunder because they only lost by single digits and they played awful.
Yeah.
They were awful again last night. Kanter
lost by a bit more than single digits.
Enes Kanter only dropped 6 points this time. That's the good news. But McCollum, 33.
Yeah.
Lillard, 29. Okay, take it away, Mr. Thunder. Take it away. Criticisms and all, be prepared to call for jobs because I don't think that's I don't think that's anything wrong with that at this point.
No, you're looking at that right there. 5 for 28 from 3, Reed. Who on the Thunder roster do you want even remotely close to shooting a three-pointer?
Well,
outside of a healthy Paul George.
I was going to say, well, not Paul George now because of the shoulder.
Yeah, but a healthy Paul George maybe.
And maybe we should want to, if it hasn't been trademarked already, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
You know, that bit of a disaster for the Thunder.
Yeah.
Absolute disaster. Thunder fans, why they didn't see this coming from a mile away, I don't know, because it seems like you and I were on the same page going into this series. At least Damian Lillard was somewhat covered, or McCollum is somewhat covered there.
Yeah.
Because they were getting wide. Yeah, well,
there's Seth Curry, only like the third or fourth best shooter in the league right now.
Bit of a wide three-pointer there, but what is going?
There's another one.
What's going on here?
I don't think Billy Donovan is an NBA caliber coach. I don't know if he can make the game time decisions, the adjustments to win in the postseason. You know, he's a great defensive coach. He's got a great system going for the defense. They were a really good defensive team for a majority of the season, but they're not anymore. Reed, their offense has caught up to them. Their offense of your turn, my turn, Westbrook, Paul George, it's the same thing, but from a couple of years ago, it's the same thing, except instead of Kevin Durant, you have Paul George. And you might actually have less shooting around those guys. I mean, Terrence Ferguson, 1 for 5. Russell Westbrook, 1 for 6. Jeremy Grant, 0 for 5. Paul George, 2 for 7. That's just the starters, Reed. Then off the bench, Marcus Morris, 1 for 1. Raymond Felton, 0 for 2. I love Raymond Felton. Don't know why he's in that game, though. I don't know why he played 15 minutes in a game 2 that you kind of needed to win to help yourself through the series. Dennis Schroeder, 0 for 1. That's an improvement from whatever he was in game 1. And I don't even know this guy's name. Let me look his name right now. Deonte Burton. Who's that? Where'd he come from, Reed?
Well, 4 minutes, 2 points. Hey, his plus minus is positives. That's more.
One of the few pluses in the box score.
Paul George drops 27. Russell Westbrook 14.
On 20 shots.
Steven Adams 16. Those are the only guys in double figures. What a fall from grace for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Paul George was going to be the MVP. They were a legitimate threat to the Golden State Warriors. And then I don't know what happened.
Then after the All-Star break, it fell apart.
I don't know what happened.
I think Paul George got hurt. I would not be surprised, Reed, if whenever they lose this series, or if they somehow end up winning the series and go on to lose sometime at a later period, we're going to hear that Paul George has had a torn rotator cuff for I don't know how long. There's no way this guy's healthy. Because like you said, he was on track to be in the MVP conversation. And like one of the top 3 candidates for MVP for the majority of the year. And post All-Star break, he hasn't fallen apart because he's still putting up decent numbers, but he isn't the same guy. He hasn't had the same like kind of offensive performances as he's had earlier in the season. He's still a pretty good defender, one of the better defenders in the league, but it was all Paul George. It was Paul George or bust at the beginning of the year. And that's come back to bite him when Paul George isn't healthy. Russell Westbrook has not had a good season, hasn't been able to shoot at all. And Billy Donovan can't come up with plays to get other guys involved. You talked about Adams. The way Adams scores most of his points is on a quick dump off from Russell Westbrook, and he has to do that little quick floater that he does. And he's gotten pretty good at that. But there are no set plays to run for Steven Adams. There are no plays to get Jeremy Grant a shot. There are no plays to get Terrence Ferguson a shot. There's a high pick and roll with Russell Westbrook or Paul George handling the ball and Steven Adams or Jeremy Grant setting the screen, and then those guys create from there. There's no creativity to this offense. It's, Steve Kerr said it earlier in the year, I think. It's easy to guard Oklahoma City, and he specifically was talking about Westbrook, I think. But he's right. There's not a lot of complexity to this. There's complexity to Portland's offense, Reed. Russell Westbrook and Paul George each took 20 shots. Steven Adams took 8. Jeremy Grant took 7. Ferguson took 9. Of the Portland starters, no one took less than 6 shots. They did a good job of getting the ball around, and I felt like they moved it in a more organic way than how Oklahoma City.
Thanks, Reed and Logan. That's all we have for you guys for sports today. We'll be right back with the show recap and the weather. Welcome back. If you missed the top of the show, the Student Union Activities Board is showing Aquaman at 8 p.m. at North Dining Lawn. Also, a father got to share a unique experience with his 2 daughters as the 3 performed surgery together. And a South Florida woman who was making threats against Colorado schools was found dead earlier today. And I sat down with Mr. and Mrs. Asian OSU. Before we close out the show, let's take a look at the weather. Tomorrow is going to be a high of 71 and a low of 45. Friday will be pretty similar with a high of 69 and a low of 47. And into the Easter weekend, we're going to have a high of 81 on Saturday and a high of 79 on Sunday. Thanks for joining us.
We'll be back tomorrow for more of the Daily O.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.